this one. This line we're gonna call number 2. And my eyelid, we're gonna call number 3. So number 3 starts following number 1 until about half to 2/3. Then it starts to go away. Now I made another line. Just there's sometimes people get a crease here. It's gonna be shadow eventually, so these are just indications. In a second, we're gonna check our proportions or placements. If there's something we need to fix, we'll do that before. So I'm just gonna fix my camera. If we need to fix something before going to the next step. So I like the shape of my my eye. I'm just gonna show you my reference here. I like the shape of my eye. I just think my eyebrow needs to go in this angle. It's too flat. So I'm gonna fix that. But the rest I think looks okay. Okay, so check your drawing. You can compare it to my drawing or to the photo reference. See what needs to be changed. And look at where the eyebrow starts. It starts just a little more to the left of my eye. So just a little bit, maybe we can start over here. And then it really starts going up. So I'm going to fix my eyebrow. So I'm gonna just review what we've done so far. I drew the hexagon to indicate a little cavity on the flat face. Usually the higher part of the eye is a little bit darker, so that's why I make the hexagon. Then I drew a mountain, which is my number 1 line, and is my eyelid. And then number 2 is my bottom part of the eye, not too curved. And number 3 is my eyelid crease. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little indication of the tear ducts. So we're gonna do a small line right here, actually 2 lines. Sometimes we have the tear duct right here and another tissue kind of here. And then we're going to do the same thing. Over here. Just an indication that it's a little bit more shadow there. So always check your proportions. If you're happy, we're gonna go a little bit darker, so a little bit more pressure. So I like to see how open my eye is. So I think right now it's too much space here. So I'll just do another line here just to close the eye a little bit. So I do another line under my number 1. And a lot of the times, or always I should say, there's a little space between the eye and the eyelashes at the bottom. So I'm gonna do another line on top of number 2, very close. Just an indication, and we will fix that with shading. And now we're ready for our iris. So you can make indications of where you want it to go. How much of the eye is it actually covering? And I'm not drawing a circle, just drawing on the left a curved line. And on the right, another curved line here. And now I'm gonna go with my, if you have different pencils, you can use a higher B, like a 3 or 4B. If you have only one, that's fine. Just use more pressure. So we're gonna go do this, the eyeliner she has here. So we're gonna shade this space here. And she has that wing here. And now I'm gonna make an indication of the pupil inside. So I'm gonna do a U. I think we did this last time. And from this U, we are going to do a triangle. Just like this. That's usually the light. So I will leave that inside white. And now I'm gonna do the crease. I'm gonna draw on top of my line just to make it darker. And after I have my line, I will continue going up, but with a light pressure. And just a little bit for more shading. So I'm just kind of coloring around, and I follow my shape here, my crease. The closer I go to the line, the darker it is. As I go farther up, it gets lighter. And I'm gonna continue doing that, but now I'm gonna go down from the line. Same idea, closer to the crease is darker. As I go down is lighter. And make sure this area stays really light. You can see the picture here. This is almost the brightest part of the drawing. So we'll leave a little space indicating we want that light, very light. Now we're going to do the eyebrows. Make sure your pencil is nice and sharp to draw the little hair. So I like to start the eyebrows by drawing, hair by hair. So the hairs that are here will go up, and as I go farther to my right, they'll start to turn to the right. So here it'll be up, and draw hair by hair with a lot of pressure on your pencil. I'm starting to move to my right now. The little hairs are longer and horizontal. And now we go down at the bottom of the end of the eyebrow. And now I'm going to shade this area a little bit, this triangle. We usually have a shadow there from our nose. And now I'm going to shade the sclera, which is the white part of the eye. An eye is a sphere, so this is light, the front is light, and the farther it goes to the edge, it's just a little bit darker. So I'm just gonna make an indication with very light shadow, like this, at the corner of the eye. And now I'm going to start shading the iris. So this, I'm gonna draw a line like this. I'm not gonna touch the triangle, but outside the triangle like this. So usually that part is dark, very dark. So I'm gonna color that area with very, very dark strokes. And another part that is dark is the border of the iris. So at the bottom here, just a little bit dark, but just the very corner.
Silvana,
Yeah.
the pencil that they have is the 3B, right? Or the 2B?
The one in the package is HB.
Oh, HB. Okay.
Yeah.
So they will need to buy a higher number, like 3 or 4B to get the dark, right?
Well, if it's not necessary, you can just do, I'm gonna do it on the side here.
Mm-hmm.
If I do really with lots of pressure, I get a dark enough value. So you can use the same pencil, just on the light parts, very little pressure, medium parts, medium pressure, and dark, very, very lots of pressure.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna now do little, with lots of pressure, little lines coming from the pupil out, kind of triangles. Just a few, they don't have to all touch the corner, just an indication of shade. And I'm coloring inside my pupil, inside the U. Sometimes if you have a dry brush, you don't have to do this. I'm not gonna do it for all the drawing, but sometimes you can blend with your finger, but I find it gets too messy. Or with a piece of paper towel, just blend like this. So the shade looks nicer. Or with a dry brush, the charcoal will blend.
Maybe even a cotton bud will do as well.
Yes.
A cotton bud. Cotton bud 可以吗？ Yeah, you can use, yeah, 这个你们可以用这个叫什么？
And can we use the Qtips?
Qtips, yeah, we can use the Qtips.
Yes, but make sure you don't overdo it, because you want to have the difference between lights and darks. Sometimes when I'm drawing or when I'm shading a light, very light area, I just grab my, like the dust from here, and I have not done anything here, and I just put the whatever I grabbed. So it gives you a very light if you're not getting the lightest shade, you can do this. Just so I'm gonna repeat that. So with my dry, whatever I'm using, cotton ball or Q-tip, I grab the dust from the pencil from a dark area I already did. You see how it picks it up like that? Or even from a side spot that I drew on. I picked it up with my cotton ball, and then this area that is light, I just kind of paint over it. And it gives me a very subtle shade, a very light shade.
亮睇啊！你老師話咧，如果你用呢個叫乜嘢啊？呢個睇唔到呢隻嘢啊？睇唔到呢隻啊？
睇到個數嚟㗎。
嚇？
個數啊，數嚟
係啦，
㗎。
呢個係啦。如果你用呢一個掃一掃佢咧，咁樣你個畫咧會滑好多㗎。
哦，好啊，好啊。
然之後咧，你呢個咪變咗黑色啦。你用嗰邊嘅黑色咧，你就塗其他嗰啲白色嗰啲。
哦。
先生，你而家喺家塗得好勻循啊嘛，係咪？嗱，你就係用呢個就得㗎啦。如果你冇呢個，你用紙巾都得㗎。
Serena, I think we use the HB is better. Better use the dust because HB2 is too hard to extract the dust.
Yes, so if you
You
have
think so? HB is better.
Yeah, so if you have only the HB, that's fine. But for shades, if you have more, then the B and the higher Bs like B3 and B6, those will leave more dust. So the higher the number, the more dust they leave. So you can play around, see what works for you. I like to use my higher Bs for my darkest darks.
You are using just HB, higher B.
Higher
not
B.
The number with higher B2
Yes.
or higher B1.
Yes. But if you only have the one HB, no more pencils, this still works. So like I showed on the side, if I want, this is the HB, if I want a really dark shadow, I just put lots of pressure on my drawing, on my paper.
Yeah.
And I can still use the cotton ball to, you see how if I rub it around, it still picks up the shade. So, but if you do have the other Bs, then the B will be easier.
Can you get the other Bs at the dollar store?
No.
We did not see those, no.
Not at the dollar store.
No, it's the special professional.
No, you can buy from the dollar shop.
The dollar shop is only
Now it's
HB2.
the school opened.
Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff.
Maybe different dollar store will have it also.
Walmart has it too, May.
64 Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And now we're gonna do a small line. I think it got lost from our blending. A light shadow. And I want to make sure I see the difference from my lightest lights and my darkest darks. So if you find that an area needs to be lighter, just grab the corner of your eraser and gently kind of touch the paper towards one direction, like if you were drawing. This corner is usually light. And the middle of my eyelid is light. And inside my triangle in the eye is very light. So now I know that the transition is very sharp. So I'll wait for you to finish erasing your lights, your highlights. And just because this is very light and this is very dark, we with our Q-tip, we can go in circles just to blend it. But you see that my circles are very small, just on the edge. I'm not going over my highlight too much, just because then I undo what I just did with the eraser. So here, just very small circles. And just on the edge of my harsh line. And now look at your drawing and look at the reference picture and try to see if the values are correct, if the lightest lights are, you can see they're the same, if the darkest darks are the same. And just go back and forth and correct. So I see there's a highlight over here going down. And the bottom of my eyelid. So that the line number 2 that I had done previously is lighter. So with my eraser, I go over it. Sometimes when we blend, then our darkest darks get lost a little bit. So we need to go over with our pencil to make sure we still see the difference of the very sharp shadows. I'm going to color this inside of the eye just a little bit because it's darker. And this corner of my eye too, just a little bit. And there's a shadow over here. Now we're gonna color inside the iris. So I hope you already have these lines. I like to do my coloring inside the eye, following the lines I already made, like this. So and it's not perfect. I'm not doing circles, I'm doing lines from inside out, inside out. And the part that is around my pupil inside is just a little bit darker. The farther I go out, it's lighter. If you really like pencil or charcoal drawing, you don't have to get too many things. So that's nice. If you want to practice a little bit more on your own, I will recommend getting one of these erasers that you can shape into things. They're very nice because you can get a very, very sharp edge on the eraser. You can use it as like a pencil to draw. Or if you have the regular ones, these are fine too. Sometimes we need to have a sharp corner. So I'm just gonna erase my triangle a little bit because it got too dark. If you colored too much inside the eye, again, with a corner of an eraser, we can erase just a few lines.
個先生話咧，呢一啲咧係嗰個畫畫嘅擦膠嚟㗎。我相信呢個唔知咧，如果你哋喺Dollar Store見到，唔該同大家講。Amazon 實有呢個畫畫嘅擦膠。
So I am shading again this lower part, is like the crease we always have. Just this bottom line right here. And then I'm also going to draw or shade where the eyelashes will go on the bottom lid. So remember I have my eye, like the iris. Then there's a blank space. And then the eyelashes start here, not completely next to my eye. That's a mistake we do often. There is a little bit of space. So if you see the picture here, there's space between my iris and my eyelashes. This is white space. So make sure you leave that space so your eye looks more realistic. And just blend with more pencil strokes or with your finger or with a cotton ball or Q-tip, whatever works for you. And I think after this, we're ready for our eyelashes. So for our eyelashes, we can use any pencil. If you have a darker one, use the darker ones. I'll use the HB because most people have HB. So let me show you here what I do with eyelashes. So I'm gonna show you the shape. So I follow, if this is my eye, I follow the line. So they're born where the mountain is. They go down a little bit and up, down a little bit and up, okay? Down and up. The farther away from the center of my eye I go, they're longer and more curved, and they go down more. The closer I am to my nose, they're shorter and they don't go down as much. They just a little bit, but up. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So I like to start in the middle. Up and down, down and up, down and up. And make sure you use lots of pressure. So I'm already going into the inside of my eye. They don't have to be separated. Sometimes they touch, sometimes they form a triangle. That always looks nice. Sometimes the ones that are at the front, it's hard to imagine, but they go down towards you, but you don't see it, and then up. And now that I'm getting closer to my nose, I'm gonna do a few to my left. Just a few and short ones. And now with the same technique, or similar, we're gonna do the bottom ones. Remember, they don't start here, they start after this white space, okay? And they're very short and straight. Straight, not completely straight, but straighter than my upper ones. Usually we don't see too many. It's easier if you have a very sharp pencil for the hair. Don't be afraid to put the eyelashes in different directions, similar, but they can touch and overlap. It's fine, it's usually how they are in real life. And I think we're almost done. Make sure your highlights or the light parts are actually light. If you need to go back with your eraser and make them lighter, please do so. It will make, I think highlights are the most important thing when you're drawing with pencil. If you have the white charcoal pencil, you can do the highlights with a little, you don't need this, but if you really enjoy drawing on your own time, this is also a nice thing to have. It will make your drawings really pop. So I'm gonna do the white triangle here. White. A little bit of my highlight here. And same thing you can do with darks, you can do with lights, just a light, just brush the highlight off. And that's it, we can sign and date our eye.